It's March, and that means it's time for leprechauns and libations. So stay tuned right here
At the bar with Stave and Slide.
Welcome back to At the Bar with Stave and Slide. I'm Dan.
I'm Corey.
And it is March. March is St. Patrick's Day.
It is.
And that's a great time because I love Irish whiskey.
You do.
Are you a fan of Irish whiskey?
It's growing on me.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Irish whiskey? I like that it is so drinkable.
It's a gentle spirit.
It really is. It's really smooth. We love bourbon. We love bourbon for just its nuance and its characteristics and you know, like single barrels and all that, just all of the great flavor that you get from it. But a nice triple distilled Irish whiskey is just really smooth, really light, really flavorful. You get a lot of, you know, sweetness, floral notes in there and all that. And it's just very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like a good Irish whiskey. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Irish whiskey, and we're going to make a delicious cocktail made from Irish whiskey. We're going to make the Tipperary.
Sounds good.
Tipperary is a riff on the Bijou. The Bijou is a classic pre-prohibition cocktail, which calls for gin, chartreuse, and vermouth.
Excellent.
Which is kind of like, you know, basically Manhattan, but we're adding the chartreuse in there.
Yeah.
So this is going to swap out the gin for some Irish whiskey. And the Tipperary it's first really mentioned in 1916 in Hugo Enslin's Recipe for Mixed Drinks.
Oh, okay.
And in that version, he calls for like equal parts of Irish whiskey. I think it started out with Bushmills, chartreuse, and the vermouth. And that was a really heavy ratio of all of that going together, like the chartreuse and the vermouth. That was pretty bitter. In 1922, that was revised in another version that dialed up the whiskey to a couple of ounces and then brought it down to what we know today, a little closer with, you know, like an ounce of vermouth and a half ounce of chartreuse. And that made it, you know, a more balanced, more palatable cocktail. The version we're going to make today comes out of Dead Rabbit in New York City. And that brings our Irish whiskey down to an ounce and a half. And then our vermouth is an ounce. And our chartreuse is going to be half an ounce.
Okay.
A couple dashes of bitters, and that makes a really balanced, really delicious cocktail.
Sounds good.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
This one's going to be mixed and served up in a chilled coupe, and we're going to use Green Spot for this today. Green Spot is a fantastic Irish whiskey. I love Green Spot. Green Spot, they have there's different line of the spots: green, yellow, red.
Okay.
So the green is one of the most populars, and that's what we're going to go with. And with our chartreuse. And our vermouth.
What's the proof on that? 80 proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, where do you got your jigger at?
Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Isn't it?
You got this?
Oh, no, there it is. Over there. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Let's get some ice. All right. Ounce and a half of our Green Spot. Ounce of our Sweet Vermouth. Half ounce of our Green Chartreuse. And again, this fits right into what we're doing with our French Herbal Liqueur series.
Absolutely. Good timing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and a couple of dashes of Angostura.
I don't know what happened to that top on that.
Yeah, they get it.
Oh, messed up.
Serve to chill. Grab our chilled coupe.
That sucker right to the top.
Ooh, right there. All right. And garnish with an orange peel. And that is the Tipperary.
It is full.
It is full. I could have controlled that a little bit better, but it
smells really good. That's lovely. It's like we said, the Irish whiskey is lighter, kind of a more gentle spirit. And by comparison to some of the other chartreuse cocktails that we've done, this is a little more chartreuse forward. For that reason.
Yeah.
But there's a nice sweetness in there. It's almost like a vanilla note.
Sure.
I'm not sure where it comes from. Maybe the whiskey. I don't know. Or it could be the vermouth that I'm getting a note off of. But
yeah,
that is delicious.
Yeah.
And the chartreuse, while it's chartreuse forward, it's not overpowering.
Exactly.
Which is easy to do with green chartreuse if you've never had it.
You can. A little can go a long way.
Very easily. It can overpower the cocktail. But it's very nice, well balanced. I think. Thinking back to as you were walking through it, if it was equal parts, it would be way too much.
I believe so. Yeah. So definitely, I think they got it right with the tweaks that happened over time. And this kind of reminds you of a Manhattan, but with that chartreuse, it really you're like, this is not a Manhattan, but it feels like it.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little lighter on that because of the Irish, but it's very good. Excellent. Yep. Give it a try.
Yep. So great way to elevate your St. Patrick's Day with this cocktail here. And so we're going to continue talking Irish whiskey. So
what do you got for us?
So we just made that cocktail with the green spot, which is fantastic. And I have a few other really great Irish whiskeys that I love, that I like to feature and we'll give a little sample of here. So we have the Redbreast 12-year, which is delicious. So this is a 12-year aged Irish whiskey. And then I have a couple of Jameson offerings. So we're gonna go Jameson 12. Everyone's, most people are familiar with the regular Jameson, which is a really light, smooth, easy drinking whiskey as it is. Good for mixing, for the most part. Your basic Jameson, it's easily drinkable. But when you get into these aged Jamesons, you really start to see what a Jameson whiskey can be. You get a little more character on it, obviously with that age. You get a little more excitement that comes through with it, and the 12 is fantastic. And then it only gets better when you go to one of my favorite whiskeys that I've ever had the pleasure of drinking, and that's Jameson 18. I love this one. The 18 is it's a great pour. And again, when you're talking Irish whiskey compared to bourbon, especially when you get up into some of these higher ages, you don't get the robustness that you get with a bourbon, but you do get a mellow smoothness with some sweet flavors in there that is just an enjoyable, deviation. The triple distilled in the Irish whiskey making process. And then when you do get a little age on it, like the 18 and the 12, you do get a little more character that comes through, and you get a little more flavor there, and they're just really easy to drink and really enjoyable. It's a nice kind of deviation from the bourbon that we're used to.
Yeah, I've not had. Well, the only one I have had is the 18.
Okay.
You and I shared a pour right after retirement, I think.
Yeah.
So I've not had any of the others, but that was a very, very nice.
It is. It's one that I enjoy opening up. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on a few bottles when I was overseas, so it's a little higher.
That's an advantage to being over there. Yeah.
It was. I was
what is the standard, just regular old Jameson bottle? What's the age on that? Do you know? It's not age stated, so
it's not. I mean, I think.
Do we know kind of?
I don't. I'd have to.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Just curious.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not as familiar with the Irish whiskeys, and as far as the actual the details that go into it, as far as like our bourbon rules, other than the triple distillation process that goes into it.
Well, let's taste a few of these suckers.
Let's do it.
I would like to.
What do you want?
I'd like to try the Redbreast.
Okay.
Just start anyway.
Corey's going to try the Redbreast here. I'm going to pour this 18 over here.
I knew you were going to go for that. Wow, that's very.
Now
I don't know.
Try to contrast maybe the Redbreast 12 and the Jameson 12.
Okay.
See what you think about that.
This is. It's very sweet.
Mm-hmm. You get a lot of sweetness with the Irish.
Yeah, not.
Whiskey,
I shouldn't say very sweet. It's not a heavy like sugary like candy sweet.
It's not the same sweetness you get from a bourbon.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's very light, kind of a delicate sweet, but it's very predominant and it's enjoyable. I like that. I like this better than the Redbreast.
Yep, yeah. Jameson.
The Redbreast is a little. It's a little more. It feels a little more proofy. Is it maybe? I don't know. We didn't check, but.
Let's see what we're at. We're at 80. We're pretty low. We're at 80 on the Redbreast. So.
And the Jameson is the same. I can see it from here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
your Irish whiskeys are generally going to be in that lower proof range.
The Jameson 12, it drinks a little less. Well, I think the Jameson 12 drinks more its proof, and the Redbreast is punching up a weight class or so, and from what it is, which is interesting. But that's very good. Let me try the green spot there, just not mixed with the
in the
cocktail, yeah. If you don't mind.
I really enjoy the green spot too.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Altogether a different smell.
I'm just enjoying this Jameson 18.
That is very light, like very light, but it's good. Again, the sweetness comes through. It's still got kind of a vanilla note to it. I don't know. I had the 18.
Corey's drinking everything.
Why not? I'm home. I don't have to. I don't have to go anywhere. You definitely pick up more of a barrel note,
right?
In that, yeah. and it's a little salty, kind of almost.
See that?
Is that you kind of pick that up? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. But the sweetness is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lovely. Like you know, the saline that they use in cocktails. You pick that up a little bit, right? It's not just me.
No, I get it.
Yeah, that's good. These are. I really need to expand beyond bourbon. I've done a little bit. You know, I got a couple of the funky gins back there and whatnot.
Well, it just shows you how different whiskey can be. You know, when you start talking about your Scotch and your Irish, and then your Japanese whiskey. You know.
So I got a little something just to add to the mix here. There's a cabinet just by your right leg there.
Where do you go down here?
There's 2 bottles down there. You'll see them right in the front. These were left behind by some house guests, but
okay, we got some Irish flavors going on. We got Jameson orange and proper 12 Irish apple. So I think we can make some St. Patrick's cocktails with this.
So I was going to say, what are your thoughts on these flavored whiskeys like this? You know, they're starting to take. They're starting to get more popular. You see them in the bourbon market a little bit, but
they've do you see them around? They've got their place, I think. It's not something that necessarily they're flavored, right? So there's additives that are in there. They're putting something in whatever, this is your basic Jameson that comes out, right? And they're adding orange flavoring to it. So you can use it to make some kind of cocktail that you want to get that orange flavor in there. So it's going to be something that is going to appeal to somebody that's wanting something with that flavor component to it. Same thing with this Irish apple, that's what it's doing. It's appealing to people that are looking for that sweetness, because it's going to have some sweeteners that are probably going to be in there.
They are, yeah. I have sampled them both since they were left.
Yeah,
and they're sweet.
So it's got its place for something if you want to mix up something easy and quick. Throw it together. Yeah, and
if you're not a whiskey person, or if you're trying to ease in, I think Irish is probably a good way to start.
It really is.
Because it's light and sweet, and you can ease into the bourbon world and in the American single malts and all that kind of thing. This one is 70 proof. The proper 12 Irish apple is 70, I think.
This one's 60. The orange is 60.
Even less.
Yeah.
So
very low proof. That'd be an easy drink for somebody that wasn't wanting something too heavy or wanted something mixed in some kind of a cocktail. Speaking of light and enjoying this, we haven't done this in a while, but let's do a cigar recommendation for Irish whiskeys. We've been kind of remiss on our cigar pairings. So for Irish whiskeys, like we talk about with a lot of our, when we talk about our bourbons and when we are trying to pick cigars that go with that, a lot of times we're looking at a lot of those robust flavors that are going to match up well with that bourbon and that cigar. For Irish whiskey, since we're, these are obviously, they've been a much lighter, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to go too heavy on your cigar. Yeah. So what I'm recommending for any Irish whiskey, really, you want something on the lighter end. So you could go with any kind of a Connecticut shade, mild to medium body cigar. We have the Oliva Series G. This is a Cameroon shade wrapped cigar. It's got Nicaraguan Habano seed long fillers in it, and this is a medium bodied cigar. So you don't want something that's going to be too strong, too overpowering. This is going to go just right with the sweet mellow notes that we have in these Irish whiskeys. So this is going to pair well. I think lighting up one of these here, enjoying a nice Irish whiskey is going to be a great way to celebrate an elevated St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've had that. I've shared one of those with you, and it's an enjoyable cigar. And I think it will pair very nicely with
definitely,
and not overpower your palate.
You would be in dangerous territory if you picked like a strong Maduro or something, mixing it with one of these kind of whiskeys, because you would lose. You would overpower that.
You're not going to get that whiskey at all.
And that'd be a case where your cigar could do damage on what you were drinking. So check us out on stayandslide.com, where we're going to we talk about Irish whiskeys and contrast them to bourbon, and then we're going to also have a write-up on our pairing of our Oliva Series G in relation to these Irish whiskeys. So hope that you enjoyed the Tipperary.
Yeah, that was great.
Our Irish cocktail for St. Patrick's Day for March, and kind of checking out some of these Irish whiskeys that we have here, and just the variation you get from just your basic off-the-shelf Jameson. So, once you get into, a little bit of age, some of these nicer Irish whiskeys, you can get a little more flavor, a little more characteristic from them, and explore the world of Irish whiskeys. This is the time to do it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all we got for you today. Like Dan said, check us out on stayandslide.com for more our articles and other bourbon content. And until next time,
Cilantro from Stay and Slide.
You said you were ready. That was a lie.
It's March, and that means it's time for leprechauns and libations. So stay tuned. So stay tuned. Why does it come out like that? God damn.
Do those vocal warm-ups.
Bumblebee. So stay. I don't know why this is.
Have another shot.